harmful practices against the girl child that concerted efforts are being made to put an end to female genital mutilation. Nigeria is rated 27th among countries in the world where female genital mutilation, also known as female circumcision, is practiced. Bassey Ekpang in this report uncovers the myths behind this age-long practice described by many as dark ages curse in the 21st century.
Genital mutilation refers to the partial cutting or entirely removing the external female genitalia.
This tradition, passed from one generation to another, has raised brows and set tongues wagging in disbelief.
The part they cut, people believe if a woman has that part, it will make that woman promiscuous, and that's not true. Secondly, if the head of a baby hits that part at delivery, that part is called the clitoris, that the baby will die. It is also not true. The question is, why mutilate a woman?
Shockingly, recent evidence-based data from the World Health Organization indicates that 91.5 million girls and women above 9 years in Africa are currently living with the consequences of female genital mutilation. An estimated 3 million girls in Africa also risk undergoing female genital mutilation every.
45-year-old Christy had her genital part cut by her mother at the early years of her life. She has 3 daughters and out of ignorance also subjected her first daughter to the same practice just to fulfill cultural demands.
And the belief in my tradition then is that if a woman is not done, that she will be loosed. And they also believe that giving birth will be difficult.
Lola here shares her own experience.
I was caught, my sisters were caught, my mom, my aunts, practically everybody, that I know were all caught. And I realized that it had no benefit to us because the whole idea is patriarchal. And it has a lot of side effects on the female. I went through forced cesarean section. And people need to understand that these are harmful practices and it's against the woman's rights.
We met Regina Duru, who has been trained as a cutter since childhood to take over from her grandmother. Fortunately, she boldly decided that the practice must end in her generation.
If I had continued when my grandmother died, I would have also raised other cutters. I had to stop it in my generation. It does not exist right now in our community.
But to be honest, it's not a good practice and it needs to be stopped. It heals with scar tissue. Scar tissue is not elastic. So when the baby is coming, if it's too much, it will obstruct that baby coming out. And once it obstructs, 2 things can happen. Either the uterus ruptures or the woman will push the baby through with force and there will be a tear. If the uterus ruptures, the woman dies and the baby dies also.
We're actually hoping that government will develop proper policies towards a total, not just preventing it, but stopping it.
Awareness and collaborative efforts, advocates say, will shine a light on the much needed path to enable the reduction of this archaic practice.